When I was younger, I was fucking cuckoo. How do you come back from that? I do this to my boyfriends all the time. Any other woman, not the sister. That is pathetic.
Hi, welcome to another hour. Another hour.
Welcome to the Nappy Hour, guys, the place where you tell me all about your fucked up lives and I tell everyone, just like real friends. So open your... Oh, I got itchy nose. Sorry, I was going to try and get through that introduction there without itching my nose, but I just couldn't. Right, I won't start from the top. The place where you tell me all about your fucked up lives and I tell everyone, just like real friends. So open your ears and let me fill them full of shit. Advice. I'm not a doctor. I'm not a professional, all right? I'm not anyone with any kind of qualifications. I'm no one that you should really trust. I'm glad that we do have this kind of relationship where you feel like you can trust me and you can bring your shit to me. But don't take anything I say seriously, all right? I'm just a friend. I'm just a mom friend. I don't know what I'm fucking talking about, all right, guys? I'm just a friend and we're just having a giggle, okay? Don't sue me. It is Saturday night. And what else are you supposed to do on a Saturday night? Hang out with your friends, maybe? Sit on the sofa and watch a movie with your partner? No. Record a podcast. Fairy lights? It's Christmas time. It's Christmas time. Oh, it's Christmas. That's not a song. But you know, it just, this is getting me in the mood. I'm loving this vibe. This is adding a lot to my life. This is just the beginning, all right? These lights, every week from now on, it's going to get more and more Christmassy until we are just sat in a grotto. Some people are really opposed to putting their Christmas lights up in November. I think that is the most ridiculous thing I've ever heard. As soon as November the 5th is out of the way, boom, it's Christmas, as far as I'm concerned. Zach is out tonight. He's out with a friend, which means I am home alone. I love being home alone. I used to hate it. When Zach would leave the house, I would just sit and stare into the abyss like this, waiting for him to get back, and then I would defrost and become a person again. But now when he's out, I'm like, oh yes, I can watch The Crown. I can go to bed early. I can have a wank. That is on the agenda tonight. My friend actually messaged me. She was like, do you want to hang out? And I was like, yeah, I do want an early night though. And early night is basically code word for wank. I want a wank. And I struggle to wank when like Zach is here. I don't know, just I feel like quite self-conscious, like going upstairs and having a wank. And for me, it's all in the mind, you know? And if I can feel that like someone's downstairs, I don't want him to hear me wanking, you know? Ooh, like he just sit downstairs and you can just hear the buzzing upstairs. Like I'm all right for that, to be honest. So I'm very excited to finish this and then go and have a wank. And the reason that wanking is on my mind is because a mum friend actually messaged me with a little story time. So I'm going to share it here with her permission, obviously. She messaged me and it caught my eye, all right? It was in my DMs. It was in my request, but this one caught my eye because the first thing she said was, my mother-in-law caught me wanking and now I need to disappear. I was in. She said, I'm just sharing as I feel like the only place I can is on your podcast. I was home alone, or so I thought. My mother-in-law was watching my kid for me like she does every Thursday afternoon. I had about an hour until she drops her off, so I thought I could just crack one out. My sex life hasn't been the same since having a baby. Who knew squeezing a baby and a third-grade hemorrhoid and a shit out your ass while your husband has front row seats could kill the romance? I had no idea. Anyway, I've resorted to my dildo at least twice a week for the past 4 months, and I found myself really horny this day. There I was, headphones in, with my favourite wank music playing because it helps me get out of my head, and I just hear my door slam. I open my eyes mid-wank, take the headphones off, and I can just hear my mother-in-law on the other side of the door apologising, incredibly flustered, ranting about bringing my daughter home early because of the weather, and she didn't mean to intrude, and she hardly saw anything, which really means she obviously saw everything, and I haven't quite recovered since. Just sharing here in the hope it relieves me from some of my anxiety, and hopefully I can stop waking up in the night in a cold sweat. How do you come back from that? How do you recover from that incident? It's bad enough, like someone seeing you like pick your nose, or, you know, when you let out like an accidental fart in front of people that you're not comfortable with. Like, it's bad enough when that happens, let alone your mother-in-law actually seeing you wank. What we don't like to think about is this generation actually wanking anyway. Like, she's done it all. It's not like she's like, oh, what's she doing? Like, what on earth is going on in there? Like, your mother-in-law wanks, your mum wanks, and your mother-in-law wanks. Isn't that crazy to think of your mum wanking? Just think about that for a second. The thought of like my mother-in-law wanking is like extra grim though, but like I know that's really bad because she's a woman with needs. She's a woman with needs. She's a 70-year-old woman with needs. But I'm just gonna block that image out my mind. Should we get on with the podcast? Since having our baby, I've been feeling pretty insecure about my body and our relationship. My partner has been super supportive, but lately I've noticed he's been liking and commenting on other women's photos on social media. No. Hard no. Stop it there. Darling, what are you trying to do? What's he trying to prove? Are you hoping they'll see your name and their likes and be like, oh, who's that fitty? Let me DM him. No. Particularly those of his attractive female colleagues and even some random influencers. Look, if Zach is liking his colleagues, his actual friends' photos, fucking go ahead, babe. But when you're liking just influencers, sorry, that is pathetic. Yesterday, he mentioned that a new woman at work has a great sense of humour and really gets his jokes. I get your jokes as well, babe. I think you're funny. I love your shit jokes all the fucking time. I can't help but feel jealous and a bit threatened. Part of me wants to confront him, but another part of me wonders if I'm just overreacting because of my postpartum hormones. I've even considered setting up a fake social media account to see if he'd take the bait and flirt back. I know this sounds a bit extreme, but I can't shake these feelings. How can I address this situation without causing a rift between us or making myself look insecure? I mean, talking about fake accounts. Guys, when I say I used to be unwell, I mean, to be honest, I am still a bit mentally unwell. But when I was younger, I was fucking cuckoo. So I'd do this to my boyfriends all the time. And I really hope none of them are listening to this. I'm sure they're not. I used to make fake social media accounts, fake Bebos. Who remembers Bebo? Who remembers Bebo? Bebo and Pixar accounts and fake MSN accounts. And I would bait them. I put like the hottest fucking girl I could find on Google. I just literally type in hot babe in bikini and then just use that as my profile picture and give me a fucking bait name like Stacey. No shade to Stacey's out there. Anyone that's listening that's a Stacey. But I just, you know, back in the day, that was always like the name. Do you know what I mean? Of like hot girls in movies. Stacey's mom. So I would, make these fake accounts. I would message them and say, oh my God, you're so hot, blah, blah, blah. I would just bait the shit out of them. Obviously, every single time they would take the bait because they are teenage boys that just have boners just 24/7. So they are led by their boners, aren't they? Poor things. Pathetic, really. So they would take the bait. And then once they would take the bait and they would start flirting and even arrange to meet, I've got them. Once I knew I had them, I would then work into the conversation that they somehow knew me. And then I would watch him squirm. And then she would then click, this fake girl that was actually me, would then click like, oh my God, wait, you're Mandy. I was Mandy back in the day, not Miranda. You're Mandy's boyfriend. Oh my fucking God, I'm going to message her right now. I cannot believe you're flirting with me. She's going to be so angry. She's my best friend. So then I would block him on that social media account. And then I would go back on my account. Honestly, guys, I can't believe the effort. This is why I failed in all my subjects, because I was too busy baiting my boyfriends into cheating on me. So I would then log back into my MSN and then message him like, what the fuck? What the freaking fuck? Stacey's just messaged me. She's a really good friend from dance. She's just messaged me saying that you have arranged to meet. And then I would have this huge argument. Honestly. Cuckoo. But in the same breath, I'd be flirting with all his mates anyway. When boys would break up with me, right, I would find any excuse to be in their area. And sometimes, like, I was living in London at the time, and this one particular boy that I'm still a little bit heartbroken over, don't tell Zach, but I'm not actually over it. So I'm pretty sure was cheating on me. Anyway, we lived in London, and he lived in Euston, and I lived in Chiswick. And if you know London, it's not very close. So I would hop on, I get a 45-minute train to Euston, and I would just walk around Euston. I'll just walk around and just like hope to bump into any of like him or any of his mates, and then be like, oh my God, that's so fucking weird. Like, what the frickin' fuck are you doing here? It's actually so bait because the boy would know that she doesn't live anywhere near here. So why the fuck is she just walking around here? There's nothing in Euston. It's not like there's sights to be seeing. There's the British Library and there's a Pret and there's a station. What am I doing? Running laps around Euston. Don't be that guy. Don't be that guy that's liking everyone's fucking pictures. It's so cringe. It's so embarrassing. You're embarrassing me. Why are all these boys, you think they're nice, you think they're lovely, you think they're gentlemen, and then they're just in everyone's freaking likes. You know what I love? I love when I see like a hot pic on Instagram of like an influencer that I either know or I just, have things come up on my feed, and then I look at the likes. I just, I'm not going through them, but I just look at the likes, and then like some man that I know has liked her pic. I'm like, of course you have. They could say it's not a big deal. It's not a big deal. Don't let them fool you, okay? Because it is a big deal. You know what's less of a deal than liking a pic? Not liking it. Just swiping. Just scrolling on by. Keep walking, baby. Keep walking. There's something extra embarrassing about them liking an influencer's pics, that someone that they don't know. Because get this, right? Like, say if it's someone that you know, it's a friend, it's a colleague, a friend, whatever, a family friend, and they're on holiday and they're in their bikinis. That's someone that we know and love, and that's his friend, and he wants to see her happy. And that's someone that he knows, and she's having a nice time. And you know what? She's had a tough year and she should enjoy that holiday. But when it's an influencer, it's someone that you don't know, like, you're not happy for her because she looks happy in her bikini. Do you know what I mean? Like, you are just liking it in the hope, let's be real, that she sees that you've liked it. She goes onto your page. Oh, Wesley Wilshaw 21's liked my pic. Let's see who this Wesley Wilshaw is. And she looks at your picture and she's like, oh, he's fit. Let me DM him. Like, that is the aim. You know what I mean? It's all these like little communication things that we send out. Liking someone's pic is like, it is that. When a boy likes your pic, it is that. It's not an intentional thought that he's had. It's not a conscious thought that he's had. But if you boil it down, that is what that like is for. It's so that girl knows that you were there. Do you know what I mean? Like, when I like something, I'm saying Miranda effing Fox was here 2024. Listen, I know I've done it. I've baited, but don't do that. Oh, by the way, guys, I'm really gassy right now. Okay. So there's going to be a lot of jump cuts. Just know that every time it jump cuts tonight, that's because I'm letting out a huge bomb ass fart. I'm joking with Zach saying that I'm pregnant because, in the first trimester, you get the worst progesterone farts of your life. Poisonous progesterone farts. Do you remember them? I know you do, sister. I know you do. Don't look at me like that. I know you do. Well, I've got them right now. So either I'm pregnant or I'm allergic to wheat. I'm going to take a pregnancy test first, and then I'll take a wheat allergy test. I got like one ache in my boob the other day, and I was like, oh my God, my boobs hurt. My boobs hurt. I'm definitely pregnant. Zach was like, no, you're just a celiac. I literally farted so much one night that Zach had to like air the room out before he could come in. This is why he's not waking me up to fuck me. It's because I'm gassing him out with my farts. Don't even bait him. I know I've done it. Don't do it. Because let's face it, right? We could all, if we put our minds to it, we could all bait our partners to flirt with someone else. We know our partner's type. I could easily bait Zach into flirting with someone else. I know what his dream girl is like, so I could just create her. His dream girl is someone with soft, round features. She plays basketball. She loves watching men play video games. She likes magic. She has small hips, a peachy but small bum. She loves board games. She loves watching QI, and she also has OCD tendencies. Now, that girl does not exist, right? But if I created her, yeah, you know what? Zach would cheat on me. Does he not know that he's leaving a digital footprint of all the girls that he is wanking over? You should let him know. What you should do next time is just screenshot and send it to him and say, you like that one, do you, babe? Trust me, he's not going to be double tapping anymore once you just call him out on it. And you know what? I am sorry that you are feeling shit about yourself. It's really hard to get out of that rut. We need to get you feeling sexy again. Book a girls' night out in. Okay, we need to get you feeling fit. I want to see you 6 foot high up on that pole, shaking your titties. I want to see you crawling on the bar like a little cat. Meow, 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 meow. I want to see you doing shots off boys' crotches. Just go get fucking wild for a night. Have a little flirt out and about. Go have a competition with your friends. See how many numbers you can get and have a little flirt. And trust me, you'll feel a lot better about yourself after that. Miranda, I could really use some friendly advice. I have followed you since you got pregnant, so I feel like we are mum friends. I'm also a mum of one, and ever since my boy was born, my parents have been adamant on being heavily involved in our lives. While some might see this as supportive, it's been incredibly stressful for me. Throughout my childhood, my parents were emotionally abusive. They constantly criticized me, dismissed my feelings, and manipulated me to get their way. Now they are demanding to see my child almost every day, showing up unannounced. Babes, rule number 1, okay, since I've had a baby, no visits unless you've had a written invitation, all right? Even criticizing my parenting choices. Who are you, mummy and daddy? Glass houses much? I want to protect my child from the toxicity I experienced, but I also grapple with the guilt over possibly denying them a relationship with their grandparents. They're making me feel like I'm overreacting. Of course they are, because they're emotionally abusive and being selfish for trying to set boundaries. How can I navigate this situation? Is it wrong for me to limit their access to my child? Simple answer, absolutely fucking not. Growing up with emotionally abusive parents is really difficult. It's even harder when you are balancing like your own well-being and then also protecting your child and then navigating these feelings of guilt around like your parents and their grandparents and those relationships. I really want to give you permission to prioritize your own well-being here. And I don't think we do this enough. We have a job as parents, and that is to protect the space, right? Protect the space that we create for our children. But that also includes you as well. You know, as a parent, you cannot pour from an empty cup. And so you need to be constantly doing things that are filling your cup up and avoiding things that are draining you. And you know what? If these interactions with your parents are like deeply triggering you, then you are not going to be able to be the best mom that you can be. Because you might be suffering from like PTSD from your childhood, you know? I'll use me as an example, right? So I think I am suffering from maybe a mild form of PTSD. I get really quite aggressive flashbacks. I get nightmares. I really struggle to fall asleep lately. I'm also having really quite intrusive thoughts about myself. And it's down to me to avoid certain triggers, right? Now, if the trigger was a person in my life, then I would have a responsibility to myself to avoid that trigger. Because when I'm having a day where I'm really in my own head, I just can't parent properly. I cannot be there for Woody. I can't be the mum that I want to be. And so in order to be the mum that I want to be, I have to avoid those triggers. And so if the trigger was a person, then damn right I would be avoiding that person. What I would recommend though is definitely getting booked in for some therapy sessions. And you can go in with these sessions with the goal of then talking to your parents about setting those boundaries. And you know what? Next time they turn up unannounced, just don't answer the door. Just say to your child, right now we're going to play Sleeping Lions. Who can be the quietest? And you turn that TV off. You got to lock the door, otherwise it's not going to work. Lock the door and just pretend like you're not in. Sorted.
Next one.
Hi Miranda, I'm looking for a little bit of advice here as I'm very torn. I don't have children, but I hope it's still relevant. I've been with my boyfriend since we met in college 5 years ago and we're both 23. I've always wanted to become a mum at a young age and I feel ready to start that journey. The problem is my boyfriend doesn't have his life together financially. He works a low-paying job without much stability or room for growth. He doesn't seem motivated to change his situation. He smokes quite a lot of weed and just wants to chill, play Xbox in the evenings. It's hard to get him to do anything fun, really, or even save money to go on holiday. I've tried discussing our future, but he either gets defensive or assures me that it'll all work out. Will it, babe? Will it all work out? For context, it's not like he's from a wealthy family, so how he thinks it will all work out is beyond me. I'm doing well in my career and I feel prepared to take the next steps towards building a family. I'm torn between waiting for him to get his act together or considering the tough choice of ending the relationship to find someone who is on the same page as me. I know you love this guy, but love is not enough to hold a family together. I'll say that for free. That is an unpopular opinion. Some people say love conquers all. No, it don't. Sorry, darling. Love does not conquer money problems, stress, resentment. Like it just doesn't. When you are in the thick of it, when you are stressed, when you got no fucking money to pay your phone bill, when you run out of, you can't afford to put the heating on, you can love someone to Pluto and back, but it's not enough to hold a family together. You need reliability. You need both parties that are willing to put in the work for the family. Is this that guy? I don't think so, baby. I don't think so. I have a saying that never bet on a horse that is addicted to weed because that horse is very slow and lazy. Now, I say that as someone that loves weed. You guys know, I'm a stoner mum. But would I start a family with a guy and put all my eggs in a basket with a guy that is addicted to marijuana and cannot seem to get his shit in a row? No, I would not. Just like Frank Ocean's mum said, okay, it makes you lazy, stupid, and unconcerned. It sounds to me like he has Peter Pan syndrome and, he just doesn't feel like he'll ever grow up and have to worry about these things. But then, bam, you wake up, you're in your mid-30s and suddenly you do have to worry about these things. And then it all gets too much because you've not done the groundwork. You've not done you've not put all your ducks in a row to then be in like a comfortable position. I know you say you want a family young, but I wonder why. Like, why do you want a young family? I think often we can have this idealistic view of what it would be like, but it's only going to be idealistic if you have the ideal man. And I feel like I worry, sis, that this is not the ideal man for you. I feel like if you have a young family with a man that doesn't have his shit together, then quite frankly, it's going to be a nightmare. I worry that you'd have this baby and then you'd realize that this is not the man for the job. Let's look around. Let's just go on LinkedIn. Gotta say, right? I always worry about people that settle down with the man, like their first serious relationship. It works out for some people, don't get me wrong, it does, but it's a very big world out there, okay? There's a lot of people in this planet, and what are the chances that the perfect man for you just so happened to be going to your local college? What the bloody chances of that, hey? I do worry that you are trying to fit a triangle into a circle shape here, okay? We've got a little shape sorter in front of us, and you are really ramming that triangle into the circle hole. You're damaging your shape sorter, and in doing that, you're also hurting yourself in the process. I don't want to say break up with him, okay? I don't want to say it. I don't want to say that, but maybe you should. Hi, mum friends. I desperately need some advice because my life feels like a joke right now. I am a mum of a beautiful 2-year-old girl and I've been married to my husband for 4 years. Recently, I discovered that my husband has been secretly texting another woman. Not just any woman. It's her younger sister. Babe, not the sis. Not the sister, literally any other woman, not the sister. I stumbled upon their messages accidentally when his phone buzzed while he was in the shower. Don't judge me for snooping. Hey, girl, I'm a snooper, okay? No judgment here. I don't do it regularly, but I just got a weird feeling and I cannot explain why. That's when I saw a flirty text from my sister and inside jokes I had no idea about. They'd been chatting late at night. And some of the messages seem over friendly and at some points flirty. They don't typically have a friendship as far as I'm aware, so this is why I'm so surprised. If they were super close, I would have maybe got a hint, but they hardly acknowledge each other at family gatherings. My husband tends to stick with my dad and my brother. I think that's why I feel so blindsided. That's kind of creepy. The fact that you don't really acknowledge each other at family gatherings, but you're like texting each other, like that is really, really, what's the word? Suspicious. My sister and I have always been close with the usual bit of sibling rivalry, but nothing major. We are 5 years apart and she's always looked up to me. My sister is probably the prettier one out of the two of us, whereas I'm the more sensible one. Ever since she's been in her 20s, my friends have all joked about my fit sister. So I'm sure my husband probably does fancy her, but it's just a different ballgame when it's confirmed. When I confronted my husband, he claimed that they're just planning a surprise for my upcoming birthday. But my birthday's 5 months away, and in the messages, I didn't see anything about my birthday. My sister is acting oblivious and says I'm overreacting. And why would I not want my sister to be close to my partner? I'm torn between exposing their secret to the rest of the family or even considering ending my marriage. But I worry about the impact this will have on my daughter and the family dynamics. Am I jumping to conclusions? Right, let's be real, babe. Like, no man is planning his wife's birthday 5 months in advance. Sorry, babe. You can't even plan what we're having for dinner tomorrow. I know you're not planning a birthday surprise literally half a year away, as if, bro. Obviously, I need to see the text. Send in the screenshots, babe. Why did you not take pics and send them to me? Because then we would know what we're talking about. But I would assume, you said they're over friendly, like a bit over familiar, and at some points flirty. But that's very subjective. Now you've got, 5 months to wait until your big surprise, your big birthday reveal. Can't wait for my huge party that you're planning me, babe. Must be pretty expensive and lavish considering you have to plan it so far in advance. Or maybe, flights to Mexico. Babe, you shouldn't have. Or perhaps just a little gathering, a little cruise with everyone that we know and love. I'm sure most people will say respect their privacy. But, I say respect me by not texting my hot sister, okay? If you have suspicions, snoop. Just snoop. Women have witchy senses, and once that witchy sense has been activated, you cannot turn it off, okay? You just need to, especially if you actually have found something, well then your witchy senses were correct and totally you should have snooped. I love that when someone's like clearly cheating on you and then you go through their phone and you're like, what the fuck? And they're like, you have totally disrespected my privacy. What about the privacy of our relationship? If you have suspicions, then snoop. I'm telling you, I am married to you. I've had your baby, right? What is the point in all of that shit if I can't snoop on your phone? You know what? There is no yours and mine. It's ours. So 50% of that phone is mine anyway. Okay, hand it over. Is this enough to end your marriage? No, I don't think so. Personally, I would need concrete evidence of this affair. If Zach came to me and he was like, babe, I'm so sorry. I actually have cheated on you. I would need video. I wouldn't believe him. I'd say, show me the proof. If he was like, babe, I'm so sorry. I've been sleeping with your sister. I would need video evidence. I don't think they've been having an affair. Again, we have limited information here, but the vibe I'm getting is they're not actually having an affair. This isn't Hollyoaks. This is real life. I mean, imagine if they were though. I don't think they are, but imagine if they were. How would you explain that to your kid when they grow up? Mummy, why don't you talk to my auntie anymore? Well, I actually had a boyfriend once whose dad was actually his uncle. So it's not incestual. He had a dad who had a brother, and his mum was married to his dad, divorced his dad, and then married his uncle, his dad's brother, right? But he called him his dad. So I'd go to his house and he would say, this is my dad, but it was actually his uncle. That was a weird house, to be honest. I used to go round and he would take me to his house and then he would go out for the evening. So then it was just me and his uncle dad in the house together. So it would just be me and his dad in his house. And his dad would put Babe Station on the TV. And it was just me and him in the living room together. And I would feel so uncomfortable. But how many experiences do young women have? I feel like every young woman has an experience like that, or several experiences where we've been put in such weird situations that we feel so uncomfortable in. We never spoke about it, never really think about it ever again, but you just like get flashes of them into memory and like, oh yeah, that was fucking weird. What the fuck was that about? And on that note, we're going to jump straight into the question of the week. I asked you guys what the most embarrassing thing your kid has said in public, so let's look through the answers. Oh, lots of swearsies when she shouted, "Oh fuck," on a bus full of people. I was there. This is my friend. My friend was holding her toddler and she stood up on the bus and hit her head on the pole and she said, "Oh fuck." And then the daughter said, "Oh fuck, oh fuck, oh fuck," on a bus. The bus was Ramo. Similar to that, we were in TK Maxx and Woody, we're in the toy section. He grabs this dinosaur and he grabs it and he's like, "What the fuck is this dino?" My son called a man across the road fat and weird. Oh my God, mate. Asked the person serving us in a shop, "Are you a man?" I hope it was. Imagine if it wasn't. "Mama, why is that man walking when he was on a run?" He was running so slow that your son was like, "That man's walking." "Mummy, you did a fart." About to pay for groceries, my toddler says, "Daddy says we can't afford it." My child is constantly calling out people's spots. No. Woody does that to me. Whenever I have a spot on my cheek, he's like, "You've got a fot. You've got a fot." He calls it a fot. I stepped in dog shit once and I said, "Oh, I stepped in dog shit." And then from then on, my child just kept on saying the word dog shit. I'm so glad that there are so many swearsies here because it's made me feel so much better, guys. When you're in public transport and there's someone that smells particularly bad, my son will just say, "What's that smell? What's that smell?" No. About a year ago, I was in the park with my friend and her kids, and her kid called her mum out so bad. She was like, "Mum doesn't want to cook for us tonight, so we're just having a lazy dinner. Porridge." My friend Laurel was like, "All right." My child once said to my mum, aka her nana, that her breath smelled like poo. I once farted in a restaurant and my son found it hilarious and kept on saying that mummy farted. Bro, don't call me out. Whenever we see a picture of a monster or any sort of weird character, my son always says it looks like Granny. We once got on a bus and my son told the bus driver that he was fat like Daddy. My son once told a man he looked like the Gruffalo. Basically, your kids are just as bad as mine, and I'm so thankful for it. On that note, guys, we're going to leave it there. Thank you so much for tuning in to today's episode. I hope you enjoyed it. I'm going to go and have a wank now, guys, so I'm going to love you and leave you. If you are not yet subscribed, make sure you do click that subscribe button. It really helps me out and lets YouTube know that this is actually really sick content. Same as Spotify, guys. If you are not yet following me on Spotify or you haven't yet rated and reviewed this podcast, please do. It takes half a millisecond to give this podcast 5 stars. Even if you think it's shit, I don't care. You've watched till the end. So that's saying something, right? Anyway, have a beautiful day. I love you. Mwah.